What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my Syracuse Dynasty. We're in the Season 2 off-season here, and last season went about as well as you'd expect from a 60 overall team. 0-12 for the second straight year. Everybody pretty much knew that star quarterback Melvin Patterson wasn't going to be able to do too much this season because there wasn't a whole lot of help behind him. He got sacked a lot, threw 20 interceptions, and only had 43% completion percentage. I also decided to change his number to number 1 in the process going forward into his senior year because I feel like that's a number that fits him very, very well. Patterson also led the team in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, beating out fellow junior Terry Clark for that title on limited carries, so that was pretty cool. And then Jason Jordan was our leading receiver this year in terms of receptions, but we saw some very good things from freshman Will Golden earlier in the year in the games that we did play. Howard Johnson again with a 71 tackle season, but Marcus Pitts had an ultimately better year, 70 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss. And then Justin Fernando, the senior cornerback now, had 3 interceptions. Our offense was a lot more productive this year as last season's unit averaged just 2.8 points per game. This year, 8.9, including 35 points and a shootout with Texas. And we weren't the worst offense in the league as UMass takes that title with a horrendous 623 passing yards through the air. Defensively, we were a bottom 7 unit, but we had 5 interceptions, which was tied for second worst in the league. We have a lot of work to do, especially in run defense, which was an absolute issue last year. Passing yards allowed, for some reason, we aren't actually doing too bad. We are like a middle of the pack team in pass defense. Of course, the most total points allowed though, and of course the interception numbers that I mentioned earlier. A lot of work to do moving forward, but I feel like we have some pieces like David Mack and Marquise Leonard coming in that are really going to help out this unit going forward. Leonard Robinson did get fired, so I had to recreate him, which was kind of annoying. This happened last year too. But in case you didn't know, when you get fired, it's a very easy solution. All you have to do is sign with somebody else in the coach carousel, and then go ahead and create a new coach, and then change the name of the old coach and set him to a CPU-controlled coach. As you can see, my coordinators both got fired, so we had to do the same thing. Kind of a hassle, but not a huge deal. Starting off with a clean slate, those losses never happened. Last season, we had a bunch of starters transfer, which was one of the huge storylines as they did not approve of the 0-12 season. This year, just a couple graduations from players who aren't good, so that's pretty good going forward. We also had our first transfer request in Dallas Young, a 6'8", 265-pound blocking tight end from New Jersey. I never get transfers, so this was a big surprise for me, but he's very athletic and has really good hands. He'll have to sit out a year, of course, but I feel like him and Corey Barnes could be a really, really dynamic duo to watch in just 2 seasons. Look out for that one for sure. Before signing day, our class sits at 111 rank, only 15 scholarships to spend this year, so the class is done, so expect the class rank to go down, but I don't really care about it, honestly, because we got a really nice class put together, a lot of really good defensive depth, and of course Bobby Nixon, Corey Barnes to help out the passing game as Melvin Patterson enters his senior year. We've done a really nice job of assembling talent on the team going forward, and on signing day we have nothing left to do, so I'm just putting points into random dudes and hoping that they walk on. But obviously I'm perfectly content with this class moving forward, a lot of depth, and a lot of guys who are really going to push us to the edge next season. Hopefully next year is the year that we can get our first win as we look to slide these guys into the rotation. Of course we sim to signing day and we don't get anybody, but the interesting thing is that USC is going after 2-star prospects, one of them being JUCOs. Their program has really dropped off here over the past couple decades. And as expected, we are the 126th ranked recruiting class in the country, but I feel like we have more value than most teams got in their recruiting class, which is very weird being that we got 15 2-star prospects. I would say that after this recruiting class, our offense is essentially complete as we don't have any former walk-on starters. It's a big relief to see the offensive line improving from where it was year 1. Obviously, it's not a complete unit, and there's a lot of guys who need to develop, but I am very happy that we can start adding depth at the unit going forward, and we have at least some quality starters like Jeremy Dodd, who's an 80 overall going forward. Looking at the defense, this is the one unit that's going to stop us from winning any games next season. There's obviously still a lot of work to be done, and I feel like you can make way with lower-rated offensive options, but defense is the one unit that really needs to come together with higher-rated players. After training results, Jeremy Dodd is an 84 overall, Justin Fernando an 82, and starting quarterback Melvin Patterson is now an 81 overall, and while he didn't get a whole lot of boost across the board, I feel like he's going to be even more effective next season, which I'm very excited for, especially behind a more experienced offensive line and when given some more weapons. Notre Dame was generated as a non-conference opponent, and that's not going to happen. So I decided to rematch North Texas because we were so close to beating them last year. 2 fumbles sealed the deal. Hopefully we get a revenge game there. We're also playing UNLV, and instead of FCS East, let's get another rematch against FCS Southeast, who both ended Syracuse's 180-game winning streak and started them on a 24-game losing streak. 2 revenge games and then a game against a new foe in UNLV, and I think this schedule is looking pretty solid. The depth chart has been set, and this is when I really realized how explosive this offense is going to be next season, with Terry Clark, Melvin Patterson, and Will Golden sliding into the slot, who showed great promise as a freshman. We also have Corey Barnes in a new-look offensive line that's only improved from last season. The team as a whole is just a lot better than where it was before, but the defense is going to be a major liability. I do not have any sense of certainty about how good this unit's going to be. I think that we have some players like Brett Young and Marcus Pitts who are going to be able to carry the unit. And I also really like the safety addition of Marquise Leonard, who is a freshman starter at free safety. But other than that, I really do not have any confidence that this unit is going to be good. But I'm expecting a lot of zone blitzes next year because we don't have the man-to-man coverage prowess needed to play man. And we also just can't generate enough pressure by rushing 4 or 3 guys. I think the addition of Drew Reese on the outside is going to be huge for us next season, as Craig Glover gets to play around at strong safety and dime corner a little bit. But overall, this defense is going to be a disaster yet again next season. Then we're going to get into practice and see how good this offense truly is and how bad this defense truly is all at once. And I'm really excited for this deep threat potential next year. Will Golden is going to be great in the slot, which is his more natural position, and I'm really excited to see what Bobby Nixon can do going deep. I feel like overall this team has the potential to win a few games under their offensive prowess, but their defense has to get a few stops from time to time. Our non-conference schedule, we need to win at least one of those games going forward, and I feel like we should win an ACC game this year as well against maybe a lower opponent like Wake Forest or Duke. Ideally, I'd like to win all 3 non-conference games, but I can't promise you anything because UNLV does have a very strong rushing attack, and we struggled a lot in run defense last season, and really have a lot to figure out on the defensive side of the ball. Will Golden, though, the star of the practice so far, he's making a lot of plays, and here's Bobby Nixon shedding a tackle and taking it into the end zone. That is what he's capable of. And Patterson, of course, slinging the rock, a diving catch made by Bobby Nixon. Hopefully we see that a lot this year. And Terry Clark entering his senior year, it's going to be a big year for this entire Syracuse offense as they look to win their first game of the series. I am very excited, everybody. I have confidence that we can win a game this year because of our offense. I have a glimmering hope, but our defense needs to make some plays. They cannot do this against Melvin Patterson or other rushing quarterbacks. They cannot allow this to happen on the outside with Jason Jordan going up over. We have to play some rigorous competition in the ACC, including current #1 team Florida State, who has one of the best offensive units in college football. You better believe it. Jason Jordan, by the way, going right up over. That's a beautiful play. Anyways, guys, this is going to pretty much end the video. Thank you so much for watching the offseason. I am going to be coming at you guys with a full season of games next year. I will see you all on Saturday for week 1. My name is Legion, and I am signing out.